If you happen to be in front of a screen, you can head over to the KXCI Facebook page or YouTube channel for live streaming video. Otherwise, just sit back, relax, and enjoy Lydian, coming to you live from Studio 2A.
Understand the choices that you make. Every single step you take, you're so afraid. But I think that you could be so great. And I wish that you could see that too, the way that I see you. You think I am a sidewinder, low liar, a quick fall and a shady poker on. But that ain't me, no, that ain't me. I just want to be somebody, someone to make you feel free. I hope that you can find the life you want to live and get away from everything embodied in. And I know that it could be so great, and you could feel so alive and know you do the way that you used to. Understand the choices that you make. Every single step you take, you're so afraid. But I think that we could be so great, and I wish that you could see that too, the way that I see you. Sure how to react to that, so I just filter my light through the flaws. I feel estranged. I know you had a long day. I know it's been a long, long day. water so many miles. And I don't believe that you had your fair shakes of ice to say it's holding you down. It's holding you down. It's holding you down. It's holding you down. I've been going crazy the past 2 weeks, from the sting in the place where you kiss on my cheek, and I'm weak in the knees. I can't stand the summer's breeze. Everything's a little hazy when I try to speak. Like there's just some feedback loop in my head. So it's better than nothing was said. But don't you think that this could all again? A little more simple And don't you think that this could all again? A little bit less contrast. And I'm sorry to shout, and I'm sorry to shout like that, and I'm sorry to shout like that. I don't know what got in my head. And I'm sorry to shout, and I'm sorry to shout like that. I am. I'm sorry to shout like that. I don't know what got in my head. Chris?
You're listening to Locals Only here. We're live in Studio 2A with Lydian and friends. Hello, friends.
Hello.
So why don't we start off with introductions? Let us know who you are and what you're playing tonight.
My name is Lydian Osman. I'm playing acoustic guitar and singing, and these are songs that I wrote with contributions from a lot of different people. And I'll pass it over to Chris.
I'm Chris Callahan. I'm Chris Callahan. And I'm playing the Fender guitar this evening.
I'm Jim Howell, and I'm playing percussion mostly on a cajon and the tambourine on my foot.
Craig Wagner, bass.
Craig Wagner, bass.
Stephen Cochran, Busuki.
Tell us, for our listeners who aren't familiar with the busuki, what is it?
The busuki is a Greek instrument, traditional, and it basically is a long neck mandolin, more or less, which of course you can hear from the sound and kind of the doubling strings and four set. So, and this one particularly was made in Thessalonica, on the island of Thessalonica.
Very cool. Well, Lydian, thanks so much for coming down tonight.
Thank you for having us.
So, what have you been up to lately? Has this been? Are you coming into a productive stretch? Coming out of a productive stretch? Somewhere in between?
Yeah. Well, I always in Tucson, I try to kind of limit my playing out in the summer for obvious reasons. It's not really fun to lug gear back and forth in 110 degrees. But I do ride a lot during the summer, and I always try to and spring and fall are kind of like the seasons that I try to play out and release music. And this in particular, promoting a release that's coming out on Friday. It's on just a little digital EP release, and then we're also doing a gig at Shay's Lounge on Sunday, the 29th. So kind of just like a build up toward that, yeah.
So when did you start working on this release?
It's got 4 songs on it. The oldest one is almost 2 years old now. It was I recorded an album at with Jeremy Michael Cashman at Homespun, and we had after we didn't really know where that was ending, we ended up continuing recording we still continue to record when we find time, and it's kind of like where that left off. And I released in between a little single with some B-sides on it from songs that we didn't release on the album, and this will be the songs that came after that. So it's 4 songs, and it's 3 of them are recorded at Homespun with Jeremy, and 1 is recorded at I just did at myself at my house. So
cool.
Yeah.
And in your mind, was there anything that was either sonically or thematically linking these songs together in a way that made sense for you to release them as a 4-song EP?
Yeah, they're kind of like songs about loss, which tends to be probably the most prominent theme for most musicians, I would say, but also myself. And so they're all kind of linked about a similar situation. But in addition to that, they also this guitar this acoustic I'm playing. It's the Yamaha that I've recorded pretty much everything on, and so the whole idea that Jeremy had and I really liked and went along with was that record a track of me playing and singing the song the whole way through, and then we add on top of that. And whether it's 1 or 2, I think the most sessions we had was 3, but at the end, mix it down and delete it, and it's done. That's it's just there, and that's a Jeremy Michael Cashman trademark.
Yeah.
But it's also, you might not capture the song. You might have an idea later on, but you could work on a song forever.
Sure.
So it's a good way to put a stamp at the end of a recording. So.
Yeah. So for the this summer that we're coming out of, and it definitely feels like fall has come upon us in the last week or so.
Finally.
Did you get much writing done? Were you trying to use that time for those purposes, or take a little break from music?
Kind of went back and forth. I did write a lot of songs. I did play more this summer than I have in summers past. I kind of, depending on what's going on, and I'd assume this is the way with most artists, is depending on how much free time they have or how much creative time they have. I try to keep my guitar in front of me at all times, so that anytime I'm like finding myself wasting time browsing the internet or reading magazine, whatever I'm doing, I can like look over and be like, what the hell am I doing? I just grab my guitar and start writing. So and I had some things I wanted to write about, and it came out. I'm happy with the songs that we came out with. Unfortunately, not all of them will be on the release on Friday. Some of them are newish, like too new to like have had the time to really get them down the way I wanted with the musicians I wanted. I'm very fortunate to have these guys here with me tonight. It's been a kind of a lot, like the circle of musicians I play with, it's so talented, so many like prolific Tucson musicians, and I'm very grateful to have them playing with us. But also everyone's lives go in this pattern that gets so hectic, and sometimes. So fortunately, these guys just jumped on at the last minute, so they didn't really get to. We haven't played any of these songs together, but I'm confident that I'll be the worst one out of all of us.
Will some of that new music that didn't make it onto this release, will some of that be in the set at the show at Shays this weekend? Yeah,
it'll all be on there. I think we'll probably do some covers that we won't do on the radio, obviously. I think we're doing 7 to 9 p.m. on Sunday. So hopefully, like with the way the weather's trending, hopefully it'll be a nice evening, and we'll play into the night, and it'll be nice. Hopefully.
Excellent. Before we get into our next set, when the EP comes out later this week, what's the best way for people to listen to it?
So right now I'm just releasing it on Bandcamp. It's just free. It's digital download. It's Lydian Osman, which is LYDIANOSMAN.bandcamp.com, and it'll be on there. And then it's called Ephemeral, and you'll see the little icon for it. But I did buy like the Spotify license and the UPC and stuff, so I'll make hard copies at some point. It'll probably be a double, like with the last couple albums, like just probably put it all together on Spotify. But
cool.
But that won't be until probably the new year.
Excellent. All right, well, let's get back to the music. You're listening to Lydian on Locals Only here live in Studio 2A.
Thanks, Matt. So A minor, Better Home. Just A minor G, I think.
Too long it was all built up. You placed it piece by piece and brick by brick as I stood in the rubble breathing dust and counting cracks that I could not fix, and I knew I could not
E minor. Really quick.
Exactly.
Well, it's what I come to expect. It's where I'm comfortable, and I do not mind finding the cold. Well, if I was so good, if I misunderstood, well then I guess I got what I earned. On my way out, took the time to count the cracks in the tile that I'd laid down. And when the door shut, I turned around, and you were painting the house a color I could not play. A color I never would play. And when I drove by last, I noticed the grass was greener than I'd ever seen. I stood and saw a green from inside. I heard her crying. There's something lying. I swore I'd never try ever again. Oh no, never again. Oh no, never again.
We'll do slow sides in A minor again.
to step into the shadow. You follow certain rules. I've been making a list and adding somewhere between gray and blue. It's kind of hard to take place when you're just rambling around with a half-empty glass of something you know you couldn't keep down. And no, I don't even watch the trains go by. I just take in the sounds. All the words that you want, I wanted to say, never came out of my mouth. I'm just so sorry. Felt so strange to me. You feel the change in the cold. And all the times that I ever felt alone are still stuck in the fall. And no, I don't even watch the trains go by. I just soak in the sounds. All the words that you want, I wanted to say.
That's one thing when you don't get to rehearse, you don't really get to nail those endings. So but
Well,
I'm still privileged to be playing this.
the act of creation is never complete, right?
Yeah,
So
it's a metaphor.
Yeah,
We did that totally intentionally.
exactly.
Yeah.
So you're listening to Lydian here on Locals Only Live in Studio 2A, and Lydian and friends performing at Shays Lounge on Sunday evening, which should be a beautiful night if the forecast holds up. So thanks again for coming down tonight. And wanted to chat a little bit about the challenge of, you were talking before about the setting in which you have recorded the new EP that's coming out, and holding up with Jeremy and doing everything in an intense sort of burst of creativity, and then just leaving it be. So then when you come back to the songs and you're reinventing them for a live setting and with some new players, do you see that as an opportunity to work out some of those ideas that popped up to you like at 2 a.m. that next night, or do you approach it as a totally new project?
Oh no, it's kind of like, I think that in my experience, I see like certain people like to go different ways as far as like musically and artistically. I love the idea that every time I play, like I mentioned earlier, it's like a rotating circle of musicians, and it's never the same lineup, and so you never play the song the same way. Sometimes I play electric, sometimes I play acoustic, sometimes Jim's playing a 4-piece kit, sometimes he's in a cajon, sometimes Craig's
sometimes he has a strange instrument like me on it.
But it also comes with risk, right? So when you don't have the songs rehearsed and down to a T, it's not, like there are live shows where you have these magical moments where you'll never get again.
Right.
And there are also times where you have these moments you never want again. But yeah, it's kind of like one of those things I always talk about when bands cover songs, like, and some bands want to cover a song and they want to play it to a T, which has its place, and I'm not criticizing that. But if I'm going to cover a song, usually it's a song that I love, and I love the recording of it, and I don't want to try to play it the way that somebody who I consider way better than me and has already perfected the song. So the only point in doing it is, the point is because I want to sing the song.
Right.
But it's also like, well, try to do it in a different vein so that there's something new and about it. It doesn't always work out, but yeah, it's just...
You did some nice interpretations. I like your interpretations of songs.
Thank you. But yeah, so I hope that answers the question.
Yeah. So...
sorry to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
We're
you got the microphone.
So at Shay's, we're fortunate enough we'll have this lineup, and we also have Michael Santana playing cello with us. And I've never played with him on cello before. I played with him on bass, so that'll be a cool new element for me, and that excites me a lot. That's why I like. I prefer recording much more too. I prefer songwriting and recording much more to playing live, much more than playing live, but that makes me want to play live when I get to do things like that.
So when you're working with instruments that are not typically in the mix for your music, how much guidance do you give the player, as you're bringing them in and sending them the songs or the charts, about what you envision, or do you like to just kind of let them take the reins?
It varies. Like for example, like I mentioned, these guys got zero guidance. they get a key and maybe some chords if they're lucky. But it depends. With recording, much more. I can't think of a better word than strict. But I try to, when I have an idea of a song, then I try to keep it in that atmosphere for recording. Sometimes if Jeremy and I have too many beers, then it goes way far, and we change it halfway through. But for live, it's kind of like, well, these are the keys. This is what I have in mind. But like I mentioned, I feel so privileged to play with the people that I play with, that if I feel with 100% confidence if they want to take it in any other direction, then that's probably the right direction.
Yeah. So the new EP's coming out later on this week. It'll be on your Bandcamp page. And how can people find the Bandcamp?
LydianOsman.bandcamp.com. So I'll put in the KXCI Instagram comments so they can.
Cool.
If they want to find it there. That's probably an easy way to do it.
Excellent. So. And you've been writing and recording music for a long time, and one thing that's happened over the course of that period of time is that distribution channels are really different. Yeah. And obviously that has downsides, but it also, in a way, opens up some freedom in the sense that you don't have to wait till you've got 13 songs recorded and ready to go to press a CD. So I wonder, has your approach to writing and recording and releasing music changed in the digital streaming world?
Yeah, I think that, I think all of us here have played on different, projects before and after, streaming became the main form of consuming music. And I think I would say that one thing, the one main difference is when you record a song, once you get it mixed down, you want to show everything. You want to be like, you want to put it out and everything. But when you're recording an album, these songs get kind of like chambered, and then you release it, and songs that you you don't feel nearly as attached to anymore. People will be like, oh, I love that song. And now it's like you record a song and mix it down. It's like, how long can you resist putting it on Spotify or on Bandcamp? And like, but I still, some of the bands that I like, Arctic Monkeys released an album last year, I think last year, the Tranquility Based Casino Hotel and Casino album, and they chambered all the songs and released it all as a full album. And I love that that's like a whole album. It has a theme. Like it just flows really well, and so I still love that concept. And I don't know if that's just me being set in like the ways of growing up with in the 90s, or if it's something that has, I don't know if it's a novelty value or if there's true value to that. But I'd defer to these guys to maybe say something about that as well.
I think it's nice that you don't have to have 990 CDs left in your garage.
For real.
Because you used to have to order like by the 1,000. And
Was that disc makers, right?
Right, yeah. And you'd have 990 left, because you gave your mom 2 of them.
Right.
And then, sold 8 of them. And maybe sold 6 of them, kept 2 for yourself.
Right.
And
6 to your mom.
right.
She's gonna give them to her
She's gonna
friends.
give 'em to her friends. So, being able to release digitally, and the fact that once digital release came out, everybody started doing low runs of CDs. So you can order 200 CDs and say, hey, if you really want a CD, great. Because I'm one of those weirdos that still likes records and CDs.
Yeah.
I still like a physical thing. So of albums that I really appreciate, I want a physical,
Sure.
I'll download and
I still like getting the
and
lyric.
keep it in my computer or whatever. But
I still love getting the lyric booklet and like sitting down and listening to a whole album with the lyrics.
Yeah.
And but that, like I said, I don't know if that's novelty or if it's just.
Or just because we're old.
Well, vinyl's got its own feel, and
It
there's
does.
something about that. A lot of my older stuff that I listen to for inspiration, like this instrument, actually.
Sure.
Some of the first inspirations that I had on it were from a belly dance album that I had, and I keep that vinyl. That was like core stuff for me. So yeah, vinyl all the way.
Yeah, but it's also super expressive. It's super expensive to press vinyl. So.
Right.
True that.
But yeah, that's another thing is pricing. Like it's anyone can release an album like online for free, basically, right?
Yeah.
Whereas when you used to have to pre-sell CDs or like your band, like when Jim and I were in a band together, we like all pitched in money to record and to and to press the album and everything. So.
And we only had like 990 T-shirts left.
Only 990.
I'm pretty sure I wore it through all those T-shirts. That's I just wore my.
So
Was that a Boca?
Umbrella Bird, yeah.
Oh, right. Umbrella Bird, yeah.
So Sunday at Shays Lounge, the new EP comes out later this week on Bandcamp on Friday, and we're going to leave you with a few more songs from Lydian.
Okay, great, thanks. So we'll do Brief Romances and then Into Bloom, both B minor. We'll do this will be in 3. We'll do it in 3.
Okay.
Or unless you want to subdivide it, depending on how you feel.
And when you were moving too fast, or was I too slow to make it last? I'm feeling empty, feeling nice. And autumn on the brief romances, I just have more fun taking chances. I'd rather let it grow, let it go. So tell it straight, no saving face. I'm not a place for you to place you. Jack the king or kill his name. 10:15, I will lay the rabbit onto his fate. But Alice only sees the shade. was just moving too slow on Fountain Avenue, that EP road. Shouldn't you have told me so? I know that you've been hurt before, babe. We've all bled behind doors in empty beds and liquor. So I don't mind the living, hoping for something substantial, but no.
Oh, sure.
Or would you rather do those last two?
I really don't care. I mean, I'll play this guitar.
6 minutes left or so.
Oh, yeah. So let's just stay on the
Stay on the
beat.
beat. Okay, yeah. Sorry.
We'll do Bloom, and then if we have time, then we'll do
Yeah.
You have it written down, right?
Yeah, somewhere. Just not here.
Worst case scenario, I'll just do one of the other ones. But you could've let me go with some truth.
listening to Lydian live in Studio 2A. You can catch them on Sunday over at Shays Lounge. New EP comes out on Friday. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you, Matt. Thank you,
Big
KXCI.
shout out to my buddies. F1 Auto.
The Scratching Post is up next. Have a great night, everybody. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
That was great.